Welcome to Hawaii Inspired, part of the Think Tech radio series on AM 760 KGU, broadcasting across the islands and online at 760kgu.biz. Here now are your hosts, Jennifer Dotson and Mildred Schwartz.
Welcome to Hawaii Inspired. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz. My co-host, Jennifer Dotson, is calling in from Chicago, where she's at a Junior League conference. Hi, Jennifer. How's it going over there?
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is Jennifer Dotson, president of Junior League, calling you from the windy city of Chicago.
All right. So in this show, Jennifer, we are going to be discussing Wahine Forum, taking it a step further. And Wahine Forum is an event that was established in 2008 by the Junior League of Honolulu and Hawaii Business, with the participation of a variety of nonprofits, including the YWCA of Oahu, the Girl Scouts of Hawaii, the Women's Fund, the Chamber of Commerce Hawaii, and the Queen's Health System, among others. And it was basically created to evaluate the role of women in the business community, and it's built around a day of workshops and conference presentations designed for skill building and leadership development, and it does this by connecting successful women with up-and-coming executives from around the world. So this year's Wahine Forum is sure to be the best to date, but how was it developed, what are the outcomes of this yearly event, and how does it help fill the gap for conferences for professionals in Hawaii? And how does one conference initiate conversations among senior business leaders about the value of diversity management in the boardroom? Here to discuss Wahine Forum with me today are Dana Gussman, an event manager and program development coordinator for Hawaii Business Magazine. Hi, Dana.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming here. And Makana McClellan, correct?
Yes.
Corporate Communications Coordinator of Queen's Health System. Thank you for coming over here today with us.
Thank you for having me.
So the Wahine Forum was sprouted from the Junior League of Honolulu from a program called Her Story back in, I believe, 2003. Which was a one-day conference that was created to help empower women and develop the potential of women. Jennifer, were you in the league whenever Her Story first started?
I actually was not even in the league when Her Story started, and it was such an amazing legacy that we are going to talk about today, and how Her Story became Wahine Forum. So I'm really excited to have Dana and Makana on the air with us today. So it's just an exciting time to talk about how we've come so far from when Her Story started as a purely Junior League initiative to then how we as a Junior League organization partnered with Hawaii Business Magazine in 2009. And I'm tipping my hat, if you can just imagine, all the listeners, if you can imagine me tipping my hat to Barbara Pleadwell out there. Barbara was our member extraordinaire who helped form this partnership, and this happened in 2009. So I'm just really excited to share this history and actually Her Story with all of our listeners today, Mildred.
So how did Her Story start, Jennifer? Do you know, with your white gloves and your hat on?
Oh, with my white gloves and my white pearls. And you know I am in Chicago here for a Junior League conference where we have 700 presidents and president-elects from around the world that converge once a quarter for leadership training. So yes, you have to again imagine that I'm wearing my hat and my white gloves and my pearls. And of course we're kidding. We're not like that. We're not like that anymore. In the Junior League, we're modern women.
That's right.
But it did start back in 2001 as a purely Junior League initiative, as a conference to really highlight women in the business community and inspire women. And it was actually called a spa day for the mind, for women. And I just love that. So if you can just imagine just women coming together for a full day and giving back to themselves, enriching themselves, empowering themselves with expertise and knowledge in the best speakers ever. And it is just getting better and better every year. And again, thank you to Barbara Pleadwell for helping to broker that partnership with Hawaii Business Magazine. And of course, Hawaii Business Magazine has brought on our wonderful friends from Queen's Health Center. Super excited. I'm
very
so
exciting.
Pleased.
So
pleased.
Wahine Forum is quickly approaching, and it started off as Her Story. That was a day of different programs and women coming and talking to each other about whether it was business or self-improvement, things like negotiating, and so obviously it was very attractive to women and businesses around Hawaii, so much so that Hawaii Business Magazine decided to partner with the Junior League. And it changed a little bit after that. They started calling it Wahine Forum. And so, Dana, why did Hawaii Business Magazine, what was it that they found so attractive about her story that they wanted to partner and become a part of it?
Well, I think it just made sense, this partnership. The Hawaii Business Magazine started 5 years ago with a women's conference, realizing that more than 50% of our readership is made up of women in business. And that's pretty significant for a regional business magazine. And, you know, it happened through the course of a conversation between the Junior League and Hawaii Business, and the conversation went like this. You know, I think we share a lot of the similar goals, which is elevating the status of women for the Junior League in the community, for Hawaii Business in, of course, the businesses and boardrooms. And doesn't it make sense to bring these two groups of women together? I think a lot of them overlap, and do one big stellar conference in partnership. And I want to say this is the 4th year of the partnership, and the conference is getting better and better. 5 years ago, I think we had about 250 in attendance, and this year we're looking at upwards of 700, if not more.
Wow. Last year there was almost 1,000 attendees, correct?
No. Last year there were about 550.
Okay.
550, so we're looking at about 700. It's growing. It's
and quickly.
It's growing significantly.
It's getting huge, everyone.
It is. That's exciting.
Better and bigger.
And I think really quickly, one important thing to note is that I believe, my understanding is that her story was more focused on inspiration, motivation.
Yes.
And Hawaii Business came in and decided, you know, hey, let's do a partnership. Let's mix that, but let's mix that with some tips, some takeaways, some solid pieces of advice that women can use in their everyday lives, in their careers, in their personal, etc. So I think the marriage of the two became a really beautiful leadership conference for Wahine, thus Wahine Forum.
Nice. So
I totally agree. That is a great summary of what it was before and what it is now.
Makana, how did Queen's Health System get involved?
It's a very good question. The Queen's Health Systems, we have over 5,000 employees, and 74% of our employee base are Wahine, or females. So that's a great
That's a huge number.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I've never ran the figures on, you know, if we have the most out of large companies, but it's a pretty significant figure. In our leadership, in our executive leadership, what we call the Systems Leadership Council, about 40% of those leaders that sit on that council are female, Wahine. So Queens has always been at the onset an advocate of women and female development, all the way dating back to our founder, Queen Emma. She was a Hawaiian ali'i, and she was a visionary. She founded St. Andrew's Priory School and also left scholarships for those women, for those children.
So she was always concerned about women's issues and furthering their needs.
Right. And she was a visionary herself, but she founded and left 2 legacies. Queens is over 150 years old. St. Andrew's Priory, not that much, maybe 125 or so years old. But she founded 2 organizations, one in healthcare and one in education. And to me, as a woman, that is very visionary to leave those 2 pillars of community, those 2 pillars as a legacy. So, you know, when Queens was approached, it seemed like a beautiful marriage to support female development in leadership. And so here we are, and we're very proud to be the presenting sponsor again this year for the 3rd year in a row.
Very nice. So some of the other organizations that joined us in our endeavor to further women's issues and women's needs and get educated and trained were the YWCA of Oahu, the Girl Scouts of Hawaii, and the Girl Scouts are always very active in their communities throughout the U.S. To further women's issues, the Women's Fund, and the Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii. And there was a few more. Jennifer, do you know which other nonprofits joined our efforts?
Oh my gosh, there's so many, and it really is a day where 700 women and women from all walks of life, professional and nonprofit backgrounds, come together and converge for one day, and it really is inspirational. And you know, Makana and Dana talked about vision and legacy, and that really is, I mean, it really effuses through everything that we do with Wahine Forum. And so, again, I feel so fortunate and grateful to have Hawaii Business and Queens Health Systems as our partner with the Junior League of Honolulu. And again, you mentioned some of the most amazing and also inspirational nonprofits in town, and this is just great. I mean, we partner together, and we are really moving the needle forward on Wahine and Hawaii. So
now,
this is great.
As Dana mentioned earlier, Wahine Forum happens every year. When is Wahine Forum happening this year, Dana?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I'd get in trouble if I didn't mention that. It's actually this year, it's Friday, October 26th. It's a 3/4 day program.
Okay.
And again, this is our 5th year. We have really revamped the program. We are so excited. We're delivering fewer workshops, but a lot more content within the general session. We are spending a ton of money to deliver this content in a way that's exciting through multimedia dynamic presentations. We're working with presentation specialists. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. And like Jen mentioned, it wouldn't be possible without these partnerships with local nonprofit organizations. I think you mentioned YWCA, Girl Scouts of Hawaii, the Women's Fund, and a couple of years ago.
And thank you, Dana. We'll be right back with more information. You're listening to Hawaii Inspired. Today's topic is Wahine Forum, taking it a step further. Stay tuned.
KGU,
part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Accidents right now at Kapiolani and Konaiki Street and in Waikiki on Kalia Road in front of the Army Museum. Traffic going east to Hawaii Kai isn't bad, but it is a little slow along a stretch of Kalanianaole Highway coming into town. It's because of an earlier accident at Kalaniiki Street. No problems to the windward side. If you're going west, the H1 slows at Radford Drive. The Moana Lewis slows at Kaiser.
Talk about experience. For nearly 30 years, DHX, Dependable Hawaiian Express, has successfully handled transportation services to and from Hawaii. Our employees know all the ropes. We're dedicated people working with a sense of urgency and care. We operate our own trucks in Honolulu, Maui, the Big Island, American Samoa, and Guam, so you can be confident of on-time, safe, and seamless ocean and air freight service. Next time, call the experienced people at DHX, Dependable Hawaiian Express, and relax. We're dependable from start to finish.
Lex Brody's is celebrating 50 years of keeping Oahu rolling, but their legendary customer service and tires aren't the only things they have to keep you going. Does your vehicle have a fever? Is it overheating? Orthopedics concerns? Ball joints, suspension, knuckles? Under stress? Will it break down? Heat exhaustion? AC not working? Hit a pothole lately and need to see a podiatrist? Foot and tire specialist treating flat tires and bad brakes. Visit Lex Brody's. They're like your family doctor for your car. They perform vehicle checkups, alignments, brakes, oil changes, and more. And they specialize in auto preventative health care. Visit LexBrodys.com and save big on installed Michelin tires and mechanical services. Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. Lex Brody's is your alternative to the dealership. ASE and state licensed Hawaii's own Lex Brody's Tire, Brake, and Service Company has won the International Better Business Bureau's 2011 Torch Award for excellence in customer service. Please visit LexBrodys.com for Super Saver mechanical and tire coupons.
Thank you very much, Lex Brody's Tire Company.
Think Tech Radio is also brought to you by InmoB. Since its inception in 2007, InmoB has grown to become the world's largest independent mobile advertising network, serving over 100 billion mobile ads to date. It has built its product in parts of the world where the mobile phone is not just a screen, it's the only screen. After launching in the U.S. and Europe in 2010, InmoB has more than doubled its global network from 7 billion to 60 billion impressions monthly, and has offices on 4 continents, in Bangalore, Johannesburg, and London, in Nairobi, New York, and Paris, in San Francisco, Seoul, Singapore, and Tokyo. InmoB.
You're listening to Hawaii Inspired, part of the Think Tech radio series on AM 760 KGU. Here once again are your hosts, Jennifer Dodson and Mildred Schwartz.
Aloha and welcome back to Hawaii Inspired. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz. My co-host, Jennifer Dodson, is calling from a Junior League conference in Chicago. Hey, Jennifer.
Aloha from the Windy City, everybody.
And today's topic is Wahine Forum, taking it a step further. Our guests today are Dana Gussman of Hawaii Business Magazine and Makana McClellan of Queens Health Systems. Did I get it right?
You did.
Awesome.
My last name used to be, my maiden name used to be Shook. So much easier to say. I'm kind of Shook, but this, whatever.
M squared.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
So that's what we'll go with.
All right. Today we're speaking about Wahine Forum, an annual conference that was developed that was actually partnered up and developed in 2008 and started previous to that in 2001. And Dana is going to speak to us a little bit about what kind of speakers they have this year, why they're important, and what we can learn from them. Dana, who is the main speaker this year?
Well, our keynote speaker, and we're absolutely thrilled to have her, is Jenny Ming, and she's the president and CEO of Charlotte Russe Holding Company.
I love that story.
And they're going to be opening another one in Woodward Mall this fall. She has agreed to come and keynote our event. What I'm really excited about, and actually Jenny is one of the founders of Old Navy. So I think most of us probably have her to thank for. Yes, exactly. She absolutely is. She has over 25 years of experience in retail. She's an amazing woman. I've had the opportunity to speak with her over the phone. She is such a great woman. She totally keeps it real. She talks about the difficulties and challenges balancing motherhood and her obligations in the boardroom. And, she had a difficult time starting out in retail and really had to kind of find her way and find her voice. And so she'll talk a little bit about how she made it to where she is right now, and I can't express how excited we are to have her. It's huge. It's totally huge.
Fantastic. So one of the things that's really interesting about Jenny Ming is her thought process. And when you come and listen to Jenny, we're going to learn a little bit about her thought process and how she implements her ideas, where she gets her ideas from. You were telling me a story yesterday about pajamas that she had told you.
An interesting story that she shared was that she dropped her girls off at school one day and noticed it was Spirit Week, and it was wear your pajamas to school day, and she noticed that a lot of the girls were wearing pajama bottoms but their own tops, and she thought to herself, well, why are we selling PJs in sets? Because tops are so expensive to make, pants are less expensive. We should just sell 2 pairs of pants
and have more pajama days
and have more pajama days. Exactly. And I want to say that year she sold 1 million pairs of pajama bottoms. And she said, inspiration is all around you. You just have to know. You have to be open to it.
Smart lady.
Yeah, she's a smart lady.
That's very interesting. So then we're going to get an insight into how she did it, how she had it all.
Yep.
Awesome.
Or her definition of having it all. Exactly. Right. Exactly. In addition, we have a ton of workshops, a lot of local women, CEOs and industry leaders coming to share their tips and thoughts. Our publisher, David Tomilowicz, always says, I want to hear your life secrets, not your life stories. So that's our commitment this year. It's for every attendee to walk away with useful tools in your
with a formula
in
for
your
success.
In your purse or in your pocket.
I like that formula for success because all these women are successful in their own right.
Absolutely.
And in different areas,
yes.
correct?
Yes, absolutely. For example, we have Coralie Chun Matsuyoshi. She's the CEO of the American Red Cross Hawaii chapter. We have Christina Cox, who's the president and CEO of KCAA Preschools. We have Jennifer Sabas, who is...
Now, who are these ladies? Who are these ladies, and what can people take away by going to listen to them?
These women are leaders in their community, and I think that aspirational women early in their careers can really learn a lot. Look up to these women and learn a lot. They're going to be talking about how they kind of navigated through their individual, journeys. And again, they're tips and tools and secrets to success. And so, if everyone can walk away from each session with 3 good tips, I think we'll be in great shape.
Makana, are you attending this year? Of course you're attending.
Definitely. I will be there with bells and whistles.
Who are you interested in talking to or listening to and taking away from them?
You know, as Dana mentioned, there are a plethora of sessions, negotiation, there's a beginner level and an advanced level, gender and generational dynamics, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm particularly interested in, and I will preface with this is a bias, tips and tools to achieve health, wellness, and life balance when you haven't a minute to spare. This is kind of our healthy wahine type of session. We had it last year. It was extremely successful. Dr. Elizabeth Ignacio, who is an orthopedic surgeon at Queens, and she's also the athletic trainer, if you will, and the go-to gal for the UH athletics department.
Now that's interesting because there's not a lot of orthopedic surgeons out there that are women, correct?
More than 50%. I would say close to 70 to 90% of that field dominated by male.
And why is that?
I just think that bones are a very rough and tumble type of industry typically, but she's very much interested in pushing women to get more into fields and kind of break the barriers in that way, get into fields that you typically wouldn't think to get into, but it's much needed to have a female touch and perspective when dealing with bone and joints. So in this session, I think that's going to be fabulous. And in particular, I think it's important to have this session through for our Wahine Forum this year because, as most of us know here, women make the predominant healthcare decisions in their households. And so this reaches that audience and gives them tips and tools that they can use every day, and that has a large range impact on families in Hawaii.
That's fantastic. So basically and essentially, she's teaching women how to break through that glass ceiling if it still exists in their workforce.
I think a lot of the sessions will do that in their own right. I think a lot of the sessions will do that. And the really important thing to highlight is that it's really about, as Dana mentioned and David Tamilowitz, his motto, life secrets. That's really what we want women to walk away from. So all of these speakers are committed to that as well, and that's what they're going to be highlighting in all of their individual presentations.
So Dana, I know that you've been speaking with all of these amazing women and getting all of this organized. But who are you really excited to sit down and kind of learn from?
I can't answer.
That's not fair. That's not fair. See, I can be biased, Dana cannot.
It's not fair, and I really don't know. I mean, honestly, Mildred, there's such an amazing assortment of workshops, and the thing is, you do have to pick just one in the morning.
You really want to go to all of them.
You do, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think one thing I'm particularly excited about, and one thing that's always been so popular, is the negotiation session. And we listen to women attendees in the past, and the room's always been oversubscribed.
And why is that? What this negotiation session? I mean, who are we negotiating with?
It's everyone. It's women negotiating for themselves, on behalf of themselves, with their employers, with with contractors, with other business people,
and even in their personal life, with their husband, their children.
Exactly, and I think that.
So we're going to learn how to negotiate to take out the trash.
Yes. That's a very important tool, ladies.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But I think it's important because you learn a lot in school, and nobody ever tells you how to stand up for yourself, how to negotiate for yourself. Women in the past have said this has been great, but it's either A, a little too advanced for me, or B, kind of I've already been there, done that. So we split negotiation into two parts this year: Negotiation 101 and a master's course in negotiation. I think it's going to be great because women are going to, maybe women in the first 15 years of their career will benefit from Negotiation 101. And, the focus is how do I do, 5 or 6 or 7 things, really difficult things with grace? How do I tell my boss I'm pregnant?
How do you tell your boss you're pregnant? Makana? Congratulations, by the way, who is expecting. But is this something that you went to? Or that you've learned about, and how did you use this?
I did not go to the negotiations last year. I was lucky. My colleague had just given birth and gone on maternity leave, so I kind of just rode her coattails. But I think Dana has a more
sexy
story.
It's hard. And you know, when I was going to tell my boss that I was expecting, I looked online for resources like, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to do it? And everything I saw online said, okay, you go in, you sit down with your boss, you tell him you need time, and then you lay out what you feel your rights are.
Read them the riot act.
Exactly. I thought,
and how do you do that when you've been working with someone for 10 years?
You know, and what I thought is, look, okay, well, maybe I know what my rights are, but I'm not going to do this because it wasn't applicable. It wasn't culturally sensitive. It wasn't culturally appropriate. And I don't think that a lot of women in Hawaii would do the same thing, you know? So that's the thing, though. I think women want to know those kinds of things. Say you receive a poor performance evaluation. What do you do with that?
Or you have to
it's
quit.
Not true.
Or you have to, you say, oh, it's not true, that's not true. You get mad, whatever. Or you have to quit. Yeah, exactly. You want to quit with grace. Maybe you want to cut some hours. You want to telecommute. How do you do these things? What are the tips and tools that you need to set yourself up for success?
And so this is Negotiation 101 and some of the things that they will take away from that.
And then on the flip side, we've got a master's course in negotiation. This is going to be absolutely awesome. Barbara Hastings will be moderating, and the 3 speakers or participants are Jennifer Gota-Sabas from Senator Inouye's office, his congressional chief of staff, Christina Cox, who's been in early childhood education for years, and Joan Husted, who was the former chief negotiator for the Hawaii State Teachers Association.
Wow.
So all familiar names.
All professional negotiators for different groups.
Exactly. You know, they've negotiated on behalf of themselves. In Jennifer's case, oh my goodness, she's negotiated
That's all she does.
on behalf of the state of Hawaii.
Right.
And it's significant. And they are going to be talking about, you know, how do you handle complex negotiation when you're in a position where you have the experience that you can leverage. You're already an established entity. When do you walk away? And you know, I mean, it'll be using the media as a negotiation tool. So these are going to be very complex ideas.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Hawaii Inspired. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz. With me are Dana Gusman and McKenna McClellan, and my co-host, Jennifer Dotson. Stay tuned.
KGU, part of the Wall Street Business Network.
The drive to the east side is normal right now, and no problems are reported to the windward side on the Pali, the Like, or the H3. Going west, the H1 is slowing down at the west end of the airport viaduct. The Moana Lewis slows at Fort Shafter Flats. The heavy traffic lets up at the Ka'ahumanu overpass. Inbound traffic from the west slows at Ola Lane. Inbound traffic from the east slows at the University exit.
This week, Acura of Honolulu and Automart USA proudly announced a Salute to Our Military, an exciting event to welcome home our returning service members and thank all of our active duty retired military and their families for their service and sacrifice. Visit our stores and receive the special treatment you deserve, a $500 accessories allowance to dress up your new Acura with finance rates as low as 0.9% APR, or browse our huge inventory of pre-owned cars and get $500 off our lowest website pricing. With your new Acura, you'll get free oil changes for 2 years. And with every car sold to our military, we'll donate $100 to the Wounded Warrior Project to assist the soldiers who need it most. We'll have food trucks, fun, and a chance to win a new iPad 2 or a Neighbor Island Sweetheart getaway to reunite a lucky couple. Military appreciation comes standard at Acura of Honolulu and Automart USA every day, not just 1 month out of the year. So don't wait. Stop by our easy-to-find locations today on Ala Moana Boulevard and get the special benefits you've earned.
ThinkTech Hawaii is a Hawaii nonprofit corporation organized in the year 2000. Its purpose is to raise public awareness about the importance of technology, energy, agriculture, and globalism to the diversification and expansion of our economy. We do this by television shows on community television and on OC16, by newspaper articles, and by our ThinkTech radio series on KGU 760 AM. We also do it by panel programs and events, including our monthly luncheon programs with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. ThinkTech, working to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check us out at thinktechhawaii.com.
You're listening to Hawaii Inspired, part of the Think Tech radio series on AM 760 KGU. Here once again are your hosts, Jennifer Dodson and Mildred Schwartz.
Welcome back to Hawaii Inspired. Thanks for staying tuned. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz, and my co-host, Jennifer Dodson, is in the Windy City, where she's at a Junior League conference. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going over there?
Really awesome. It's so exciting to be here for the Junior League conference, and
Great.
The Junior League training that's happening here is super inspirational. So I'm excited to be on air with you all.
Well,
and
we're excited to have you.
Hi.
We have
Hi,
stay warm.
Makana.
Hey, Jen.
Dana Gussman of Hawaii Business Magazine and Makana McClellan of the Queens Healthcare System are joining us today. But before we go on, we have Jay Fidel, the brain of Think Tech Radio, who has a little announcement for everyone.
Great show, girls.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for having us.
Fabulous. I love to be surrounded by beautiful women. It's not a bad gig at all. And that includes people in Chicago, by the way.
Oh, Jay, you are so sweet.
Okay, well, you know, as the spot just mentioned, Think Tech does weekly, or rather monthly, panel programs at the Plaza Club in conjunction with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. And this month's program is coming up next Thursday, that is September 27th. And I just want to tell you what it's about. It's the Emerging Energy also-rans. Where will they fit in the landscape? So some, you know, we heard about certain energy sources, clean energy sources, but they didn't come true yet. They're not commercialized yet. They're not on the grid yet. For example, OTEC, ocean thermal energy conversion, and algae, and agro-biofuel, and wave energy, and the like. So we have some panelists who were involved with those special energy resources who are going to tell us the status of their research and when they're expected to come online. And we have remarks by Robbie Yam of Hawaiian Electric Company. It'll be a great program. It's this Thursday. Starts at 11:30, goes to 1:30 at the Plaza Club. If you want to sign up, look at hvca.org. Thank you, Mildred.
Well, thank you. Ladies, get off your phone. Stop signing up right now. You can sign up after the show.
I want to register again and again.
You know, Mildred, we should probably tell everybody how to sign up for Wahine Forum, too.
Excellent point, Jennifer.
Dana, tell us how we sign up.
Well, you can sign up online, of course, at www.hawaiibusiness.com/wahine. And you can also get a really good sense of what exactly is going on. We have session descriptions, bios, pictures from previous conferences. You can get a really great sense of what you have, what you're in store for.
Fantastic. And that happens October 26th, correct?
October 26th. It's 8:30 to 3:30. Registration will start a little bit earlier. Because this is a women's conference, coordinated by women, for women, with 700 women in attendance. The menu is going to be fabulous, too.
Oh, I'm hungry already.
We start registration at 7:30?
Registration starts at 7:30 that morning.
And ladies, just because most of you don't know yet, it will be at Hilton Hawaiian Village.
That's true.
I don't think we mentioned that.
Well, speaking of women's conference, Jennifer Dodson is actually joining us from the Windy City. She called in today just to be with us today over the radio. And she's at a conference that is a Junior League conference, and it's called ODI. That's the acronym. Jennifer, what does ODI stand for, and what are you up to over there?
So ODI is our acronym for the Junior League that stands for Organizational Developmental Institute. And, the Junior League of Honolulu belongs to an association of junior leagues that is worldwide. 400 junior leagues from around the world converge once a quarter in a different city every 4 months, basically, and we do leadership training. And this conference is specifically for the president and the presidents-elects of our organization. So it is amazing. We have non-stop workshops and breakout sessions for leadership, governance, strategic planning. It is just a wealth of information, a dearth of training, and just so much knowledge in,
so what kind of training?
In one room.
What kind of training have you got? What kind of training have you gone through? What have you learned?
You can actually sign up for a number of different tracks, and it's so relevant that we're talking about Wahine Forum and the fact that we do training right here back home in Hawaii. And for us in the Junior League, we actually invest our funds to send our future leaders, our current and future leaders, to training all around, the United States. But here are some examples of the breakout sessions that we have been going to. So we have strategic roadmap. We have mentoring as a tool for women's community leadership development.
Wow.
We also have fund development. So the annual appeal, how member giving strengthens the fund development picture. We have Leading for Impact, why strategic thinking is a prerequisite for powerful strategic planning. And it's amazing. So I'm so grateful to the Junior League for, again, investing in our members, in our leadership, to have this training once a quarter. And then we continue the training back home in Honolulu with all of our Junior League of Honolulu membership meetings. Wahine Forum, we are surrounded by training, and really we are an organization. In our mission statement, we are dedicated to training women because we really do feel that women in leadership positions is the future of the world. And
That's great.
I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I want my 3-year-old to be a Junior League member and get all of this training too.
Well, that's fantastic, and then you'll come and teach us all about it. And maybe one of these days you'll be speaking at Wahine Forum.
Absolutely. And I am so fortunate to be invited by Dana and Makana to be a Wahine Forum panelist. I know I have arrived.
Hint. All right. So let's get back to Wahine Forum and how we're taking it a step further. So last year you had a great turnout, and this year we're expecting an even better turnout.
We're expecting an even better turnout. And if it's okay, I want to go back to something that Jen just said, talking about the availability of great training opportunities on the mainland. There aren't as many here in Hawaii locally.
Absolutely.
And so this really is the premier women's leadership development opportunity in the state, and it's not like you can just go on over and drive to California and maybe attend a conference there. So, I think we know that this is our obligation to do a great conference and really something valuable, meaningful, and fun too. Like, can we have some fun? So we're excited again for the conference on October 26th.
So what other special programs or special sessions are there going to be that where women can go and learn and get trained and have some takeaway pieces from?
Well, one of the highlights, I think, and something new that we're doing this year is we're doing our general sessions with the short-form dynamic presentation.
What is that?
Similar to TED Talks or TEDx.
Oh, I love TED.
Yeah, I know. Well, TED's the brand, so we're not really doing, TED, but we're doing TED-inspired or TED style, which is, a speaker who is supported by great infographics and a lot of, it's just a multimedia experience, and we're really relying on that to deliver a lot of the most awesome content of the day. We've got this neat thing called Wahine by the Numbers, and that is basically going to be an update on the status of women, a lot of data, but we're really excited because it's going to be delivered by the young women of La Pietra, Hawaii School for Girls.
Oh, wow.
And so we are using this as a leadership and presentation training opportunity for the young women of La Pietra, which is just...
That's amazing. How fun is that?
It's so much fun. I'm so excited, and we're so grateful to have their help and to be partners with them. Just real quick, we have Stephanie Sophos, who just published a book called Untold Stories from a Real Estate Diva. She has had a very long and extremely colorful career in real estate. She got a real estate license when she was 20, was established, by the time she was in her mid-20s, and she's going to be leading a session called There's Still a Long Way to Go, Baby. She's hysterical. She is going to be a ton of fun.
I can't wait.
Absolutely. We're also going to have a brutally honest discussion, Mildred, about having it all.
Oh, having it all.
And this is something I'm really excited about.
Whose definition of having it all?
Exactly. There you go. What is having it all? What does it mean?
Makana, do you have it all?
Do you have it all?
I believe I have it all for what McKenna wants.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the bottom line. There are going to be 700 women there. There are probably going to be 700 definitions of what having it all means.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of it has to do with mindset.
Yep, exactly.
We had shared about, the concept that happiness is a choice. So you have the cards that you were dealt, and you kind of make that work or you don't. You choose this is happiness and this is success or it's not. And and that you'll see I think that's going to be the best and most dynamic, invigorating TEDx style presentation.
I think it'll be a ton of fun. We're going to hear from a lot of different women, very different. I think you'll hear, yes, I have it all. No, I'm so far from having it all. What does having it all mean?
Do you have it all, Mildred?
I'm on the radio, so yes. Well, it's very individual.
And who cares about having it all? I mean, if you're happy, right?
Right.
So it's a complicated question. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I think this again, it's timely. People are now comfortable, women are now comfortable discussing this and saying, maybe I don't have it all. And you know what? I don't care.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
So this is going to be a session that's thought-provoking and get women talking to each other.
Exactly.
And
it
to others
prompts
about
the conversation, and that's what we want to do. We'll also hear from the women participants. Attendees are going to have to choose from different sessions, but we wanted to convene all of the women together.
Oh wow!
And I don't mean to say they're going to all be on the stage, but we're going to do. We have a treat in mind for the attendees, and really words of wisdom. Asking each of the 20 some odd women who are there, give me one gem. One word of advice.
Because these are all senior level executives.
These are senior level executives, and I'll share one thing. I really admire Coralie Chun Matayoshi. I'm fortunate enough to serve on the board of the Hawaii State chapter of the Red Cross. And when I said, what kind of advice would you give anyone starting out in their career? And she said, pick the right husband. And I thought,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. She said, find someone who will support you. Find someone who doesn't mind giving the baby a bath. And I thought...
Cooking dinner.
Exactly. And I thought,
Foot massages, that's always a bonus.
That's true. So
on and on.
Thankfully, I did find the right husband. So I'm in good shape. And hopefully he's listening and can hear that while he's cooking dinner.
But the big one is find someone who is supportive of your needs.
Absolutely. Exactly. Somebody who supports you and who supports your goals and who supports your journey to getting it all, whatever that means.
Whatever that means to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who else is going to be having some general sessions?
We have Kathy Inoue, who's with the Kobayashi Group, and she's really going to be. She's got such an interesting story. She's absolutely beautiful. She started as a very young woman in the field of construction and development.
Another very male-oriented profession.
And she is going to kind of issue a mission for the day. Like, look, ladies, you're here for these reasons. Go out there, make it a great day. She's going to kind of frame the day's events. She'll be on in the morning. And in the afternoon, I'm really excited about a session moderated by Malia Ka'aihui, and she's the editor of Mana Magazine. And she is going to be speaking with a panel of women who are going to talk about kind of rising to the top, but when you're starting from a really rough place. So kind of rising from the margins to the top, and just the different paths to success and different journeys to empowerment and to success.
Thank you, Jana. You are listening to Hawaii Inspired. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz, with co-host Jennifer Dotson, calling from the windy city of Chicago. We'll be right back with Wahine Forum, taking it a step further. Stay tuned.
KGU,
part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Got the usual slowdowns going west to the stadium, and if you're headed up to central Oahu, expect slow traffic around Wahiawa because of the bridge closure. And we've got a slowdown on the H2 northbound before the Lelehua Golf Course Road overpass. No problems to the windward side. On the windward side, though, on the H3, we got an accident by the Marine Corps Gate, and in town an accident reported at Beretania and Ward Avenue.
Think Tech Radio is also sponsored by Pacific Cap. Pacific Cap, Hawaii's largest locally based venture capital firm. provides early and later stage financing for Hawaii's high-tech, emerging growth and alternative energy companies. With market focus, experience, and perspectives that are global, Pacific Cap's roots and heart are local. Pacific Cap, a local venture capital firm funding Hawaii's global opportunities.
You're listening to Hawaii Inspired, part of the Think Tech radio series on AM 760 KGU. Here once again are your hosts, Jennifer Dodson and Mildred Schwartz.
Welcome back to Hawaii Inspired. I'm your host, Mildred Schwartz. My co-host, Jennifer Dodson, is calling in from the windy city of Chicago, where she's at a Junior League conference. Hi, Jennifer.
Aloha, everyone. And Chicago is also known as the second city. And I love Chicago, but I love being able to come back home to Hawaii after this trip is done.
Where it's still warm.
Absolutely. It's freezing cold here. It just turned rainy and freezing, so I'm really looking forward to coming home.
Well, come home.
Well,
come home safely.
We're looking forward
to
speaking with you and learning about all the great training that you've gotten over there.
Oh, absolutely. I have tons to share with you, ladies.
Fantastic. Today's guests are Dana Gussman and Makana McClellan, and we're talking about Wahine Forum, taking it a step further. Now, Wahine Forum started off as her story from the Junior League. And, Jennifer, what was Wahine Forum like 10 years ago?
You know, Wahine Forum started as her story when the Junior League first started it in 2001 as a purely Junior League initiative. And it really was about a spa day for the mind, for women to be inspired. And
it's developed into a whole different animal now, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And, you know, we were so fortunate in 2009 when Barbara Pleadwell helped to broker a partnership between the Junior League and Hawaii Business Magazine. And now her story is known as Wahine Forum. And now with all of our partners, including our friends over at Queens Health System, we just have an amazing conference that is all about leadership, career, and community. And this event this year will happen October 26th at the Hilton Hawaiian Coral Ballroom. I am so excited about this event, and I know all of our listeners are probably also excited. So they're probably wondering, Mildred, how do I sign up?
How do they sign up, Dana?
Well, Jennifer, I'm so glad you asked. Again, if you didn't catch it, it's Friday, October 26th at Hilton Hawaiian Village. It's a 3-quarter-day conference. Registration's at 7:30. Conference starts at 8:30 and ends at 3:30. They can go to hawaiibusiness.com/wahine and register online. There's so much more information there about who the panelists are. We have detailed bios of all of the participants. We have a comprehensive list of all of our partners.
You get a really great idea of what's going on.
Exactly. You'll get a good sense who's involved. You know, one thing I think is exciting to note is that a couple of years ago, the Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii and SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Managers, contacted us and asked us if they could partner with us on this conference. And I think that it shows that the conference has kind of come from sort of inspirational to truly business focus.
And do you feel that as it progresses, do you feel that more businesses are taking note of women in the power that they have in the workforce?
Absolutely. You know, our publisher likes to say that, you know, businesses have a fiduciary duty to ensure that their leadership ranks are diverse and include women. And I think a study of the Fortune 500 companies shows and supports that women who have businesses who have women in leadership are actually doing better.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, and it's true. I think we've all known it in our hearts, and there's data to support it. So,
and now we're talking about
it. That's right. That's right.
So where is it going in the future? What can we expect from Wahine Forum maybe next year?
You know, I think, well, again, we're expecting 700 people. Boy, if I hit 1,000, I would
die.
I don't know. It'd be so exciting. You know, I think more than next year, I hope that on October 27th, the day after the conference, I hope that people are talking about it. That's what I want. I want people to talk about what they've learned, what they were inspired by,
Join the conversation.
What they're going to do. All we want to do is we want to prompt this conversation. And I think, you know, what we'll do is we'll listen to the people who went to the conference and we'll make it better. This year, in its 5th year, really is a culmination and a product of everyone who's attended, who's called us up and said, why do you do this? Why don't you do this? You need to do this. We're doing it. And we've got a great conference.
So how can, if there's women out there that are senior level executives, and even if there's women that aren't senior level executives that want to get involved in Wahine Forum in companies, how do they do that?
Well, there is contact information. They can certainly call me, Dana, at Hawaii Business Magazine and look online. There's a ton of contact information. We'd be happy to sponsor. We want to engage businesses. It's funny. We have a joke like men need not apply. This really is a women's conference. We do have men in the room, and we think that's great. But
men are important.
Men are important, yes. But this really is a women's conference. But there actually is a role for men. And a couple of years ago, one of the attendees went up to our publisher, David Smilowitz, and said, this is all great, this conference, but if you don't have men in the room, you're kind of missing the point. And it's true, because I think 14% of Hawaii-owned businesses are run by women, and that means that many are not. And while we can talk about change, we do need to have men in the room. And what we do is we convene a CEO forum or CEO roundtable. During the conference, it's by invitation only, and we ask CEOs to attend and have a real, true conversation about the value of having a diverse leadership composition.
Fantastic. So, Dana, I know that you get to speak to all of these women one-on-one and get their insight and get kind of the inside scoop on what their story is and how they became successful. And Makan and I are over here dying, wanting to meet all of them as well. Can we watch them afterwards?
You know what? Yes, we're going to do our very best to capture the day. So I told you my AV budget is crazy, but we're really going to try to capture all of their tips and put them online. We don't want to keep secrets here. We want to share all of this again and prompt the conversation. So come to the forum, please. If you cannot make it for some, it's going to be great. If you can't make it, we're going to put a ton of content on the website, and hopefully people who couldn't make it in 2012 come make it a priority in 2013.
Fantastic. And I think looking forward, we asked the question, in maybe 10 years from now, what would we like to see Wahine Forum become? For myself, personally, I'd love to see a female billionaire be invited to speak. I don't know that we've ever had that. I'd love to see women focus a lot. I'd love to see a room of high-level executive women really focus on mentorship. Mm-hmm. I think that's a missing piece, and I think a lot of men in executive roles are very good at mentoring, in particular, sorry guys, other men, and bringing them up in the ranks with them. And I think women can really take note of that and really use that as a strategic tool to ensure continuity in female leadership. So 10 years, that's what I'm looking personally towards, and I'm hoping Barbara Pleadwell and Jen Dotson can be on a panel too, and that would be fantastic. I think
maybe Jen will be the billionaire.
Yeah, maybe someone.
My mother would be so happy.
Oh, I know.
But really, I think there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of potential, and I think this is one of many first steps to get to that point. But that is my hope, that women can really come to a place where they have arrived and that they understand the importance of passing that torch on. Mm-hmm. I don't think women do a good enough job about that, and that's, the Junior League does a fantastic job, but I think more women need to make that a priority.
Training.
If we want to see this continue in the future.
That's fantastic. So for our listeners who are not in Hawaii and can't attend this, is there any way that they can maybe form some kind of Wahine Forum or a women's conference in their local area?
Well, I think what makes this program special is the support of these nonprofit organizations, and many of them, interestingly, are led by women. It just so happens. And when you get those people in the room, I think you can prompt the conversation and you can start something like this. And again, her story combined with the with a business conference that Hawaii Business had been hosting. And again, all of these things come from conversations and from people who really want to make a difference, want to prompt a conversation, and want to start a revolution. No,
I think it's really important to note that women can just, if you're listening, you can just take this in your own community, whether it's abroad. It's a very easy step. Her story is in my opinion, a good first step. Even just women convening and sharing inspirational stories. I think that's a first step and an important one to getting to a level of Wahine Forum. You know, Wahine Forum has taken a lot of time to get where it is today. But even just to have the conversation like we're having this afternoon here in Hawaii is something that is valuable to women, and it matters to women, and it does motivate and change and bring about action, and I think that's the key.
And again, Wahine Forum is Friday, October 26th at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The conference is actually 8:30 to 3:30. And where can they sign up?
They can go to hawaiibusiness.com/wahine. There's a ton of information, speaker bios, session workshop information.
And ladies, it fills up fast, so
don't wait. It really does fill up fast.
No procrastination.
Don't procrastinate.
And in this day of social media, you can find the Junior League on facebook.com/JLH Honolulu. You are listening to Hawaii Inspired. Join us next week from 4 to 5 p.m.